Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video breakdown, we're going to be diving down the fundamental rabbit hole, discussing and talking about some soy ecosystem developments that have recently taken place in March, showing some exponential growth partnership development on their behalf. The maturation in this space is ever increasing, while at the same time in today's video breakdown, I'm going to prove to you guys that financial institutions are 110% onboarding into this space at a rapid pace. They are interested in putting their digital assets to work, and you all right now in the moment have the ability to do the same and have the same access that these financial institutions do to be generating yield on your digital assets, which is why we push for individuals' education in this space to start to learn how to get your digital assets working for you. So welcome back to the CYPRX platform. We do appreciate the love and the support. Do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you enjoy these deep research video breakdowns. I feel like there is a shift, there is a change in mentality where people are really starting to wake up and realize that the hopium, the hype, it's dead, it's dying, it's decaying, and you should be paying attention to real researchers like myself and many others out there that are actually laying down foundational documents, fundamental developments, partnerships, interconnected webs behind the scenes to show you guys that this is all unfolding right before your very eyes. Again, we are now at the very epicenter of this digital transformation where we have the power of being our own banks, right? So this is absolutely monumental. You guys are going to learn a lot in today's video breakdown. We're going to be talking about some recent developments in the soy ecosystem. Just to show you guys real fast, I mentioned in previous video breakdowns that I was going to start curating playlists for soy, XDC, HBAR, XRP, XLM. I've started to do that. So you guys can come over here if you're new to the CYPRX YouTube. We had been covering soy back when it was trading around 50 cents. I personally bought a significant amount of soy back when it was trading around 50 cents. We actually hosted a live, myself and two of the other CYPRX Wealth 28 Club members hosted a live breaking down why we were dollar cost averaging into soy at that point in time months ago when it was trading well below 50 cents. And you guys can come back and you can watch that live video breakdown right here in the CYPRX YouTube. You guys can always go back and check that out. Watch some of the other video breakdowns. If you don't know about soy, you don't know about the soy network, the soy ecosystem. There's only 5 video breakdowns in this playlist. I don't talk too much about the soy ecosystem on my YouTube, but it is definitely one of the major players in my portfolio, considering that we were buying it at 50 cents and it ran all the way up above $5 shortly thereafter. So to continue this, we're going to start here in today's video breakdown, okay? Where I said to you guys, you should be paying attention to projects who have been building solutions, sitting in on closed door meetings, conducting proof of concepts with the largest organizations, connecting with other projects and networks, hosting spaces, attending events, complying with regulations. That's an important one right there. Helping support infrastructure for financial institutions, right? And these will be the projects that melt people's faces when the market's sitting at $6 to $10 trillion. Soy is one of them. In previous video breakdowns, we'd showed you guys that you all right now have the potential to earn yield anywhere between 7 to 25% on regulated digital assets. That's going to play an important role when we get into the soy ecosystem development and what it is that they're doing, right? Again, go back and watch some of those video breakdowns on the CYPRX YouTube. We won't talk about that too much in detail, but we showed platforms that we are currently earning on regulated stablecoins, i.e. EURC and USDC liquidity pools, right? So that was an interesting one. And then here, this is again just to confirm and show you guys that large custody providers backed by financial institutions are allowing these services to be provided to their customers. Okay, this is monumental because you have this group of individuals in crypto that are like, oh, DeFi is not regulated, it's never going to be used by institutions. They just yap, right? They yap, they do all this talking, they bring their opinions to the market instead of backing their opinions by our research and solid fundamentals. So this is from Zodia Custody. I posted this to you guys on March 16th, 2025. This is a recent post from Zodia Custody where they mention James Harris, Chief Commercial Officer at Zodia Custody, shared the launch of our rewards program, reinforcing Zodia Custody's mission to help institutional users engage seamlessly with the digital asset ecosystem while maximizing capital efficiency. This highlighted portion is going to play an important role when we get into the soy developments. It says, we provide solutions that unlock earning potential and will continue to work with partners like Athena to offer clients new opportunities to put their assets to work. That terminology right there, put their assets to work. Remember that when we get into the soy fundamental developments here in just a second. And for those of you all who are new to crypto or don't know what Zodia custody is, here you can see right here, this is their website, crypto custody without compromise, literally trusted by some of the world's largest leading financial institutions: Standard Chartered, Northern Trust, SBI, NAB, Emirates, NBD, and Invesco. Okay. I mean, and we just had an individual from Invesco sitting on stage next to the Bitwise, I believe it is CEO or someone on the high end Bitwise. His name's Matt Hugan, I think. But the Invesco gentleman sitting on stage next to an individual rep from Bitwise, sorry if I'm ignorant on the names, and he literally said, "I wish I could buy the dip."
Matt and I were talking earlier about how, ETH was down almost 30% over the weekend, thanks to Mr. Trump's tariffs, and we were just saying to each other, "God, I wish I could hit the buy button." But like we're companies where you have to get things pre-cleared and so on and so forth.
So again, showing you guys that financial institutions are 110% interested in this space. We also had this post just to solidify everything, right? Institutional adoption is moving full steam ahead. We have this gentleman here, from skeptic to player. Citadel Securities is reportedly expanding into crypto trading and liquidity services, i.e. liquidity services, providing liquidity to the market. With $66 billion in assets under management, they are a serious heavyweight. It may not be a turning point for TradFi, but it's yet another sign that institutional adoption is moving full steam ahead. And this was put out by the CEO at European Blockchain Convention and Digital Assets. All right. Now, before we move on to the soy fundamental developments, again, I want to reiterate this: put your assets to work. That was posted by Zodia Custody, where they're literally telling you guys straight to your face that they're providing these solutions to their clients for them to put their assets to work and generate yield. Well, if you come over here, this is a development from the Soy Foundation posted March 6, 2025. All right. This is going to blow your mind. We're going to thoroughly read through this. It says, soy is increasingly becoming the Bitcoin liquidity capital of crypto. Today, LBTC, for institutional grade liquid staking, LBTC is a liquid stake version, or the liquid stake version of Bitcoin that individual users get for deploying their Bitcoin into a liquid staking platform, is now available on Soy, unlocking new opportunities for institutional and retail holders looking to engage with Bitcoin in a capital efficient, high performance environment. The reason why I highlighted that is because I'm trying to show you guys that right now, they're creating a level playing field, right? Where we as retail participants have the same equal access as these institutional players. All right.
I mean, being the first time that retail can have access to the same markets that, the financial institutions have, and that'll have potentially massive improvements in terms of the financial products that we might create in the future
on these platforms. I cannot stress enough, this is monumental, right? It literally says it right there in front of your eyes. This is a fundamental piece that anybody can go and read for institutional and retail holders. So anybody that's like, "Oh no, we don't have the same access as institutions right now," again, they're yapping and they're bringing their opinions to the market. Stop bringing opinions that are irrelevant to this market when the fundamentals are literally transparent and are laid right in front of your face. Building on partnerships with Lombard, first unveiled last year, users can now access Lombard's LBTC on Soy across leading protocols including Aftermath, Bluefin, Cetus, and Navi, Soylend, and Turbos, enabling them to stake native BTC, to mint LBTC directly on Soy, providing users with liquidity without having to sell Bitcoin. How many times have I told you guys in previous yield-bearing video breakdowns that I've made that we are entering into an era where you, as a retail participant, do not have to sell your digital assets? Again, diversifying is very important, where you have a portion of your digital assets that you sell for stable coins that then you can go and generate yield with, right? Taking profit, rolling that profit that's generating yield back into a discount when the market pulls back. There's that type of strategy you can have, but there's also a strategy that you can implement in your portfolio where you don't sell any of your digital assets and you just turn those idle digital assets into yield bearing assets and you hold them for freaking years. I'm talking about 20, 30 and beyond. Okay. That is happening right now, people. And if you think for one second that institutions are not going to be participating in those types of strategies, Again, you need to do more research, tap into the CYPRX YouTube, tap into the CYPRX X profile page, the CYPRX researchers, what we've been diving into, showing you guys that this is all happening. Lending and borrowing LBTC to earn yield or use it as collateral. Individuals will also be able to trade LBTC on Soy's leading decentralized exchanges and provide liquidity to LBTC trading pairs to earn yield, enjoying additional yield incentives for LBTC deposits on Soy. Then it also mentions this integration is the latest milestone in Soy's push to lead in Bitcoin DeFi and further underscores Soy's position as the only blockchain built for mass adoption. Then down here, I have highlighted in purple, put your assets to work, right? It says Soy's high performance architecture is uniquely suited for capital efficient Bitcoin DeFi. And the integration of LBTC further underscores Soy's push to aggressively grow this promising sector on the network, said Miston Labs co-founder and CEO Evan Chang. This integration is a significant step forward as Soy continues building a robust ecosystem where Bitcoin holders can put their assets to work without friction. Now, with Soy's industry-leading transaction speeds and composability, LBTC holders can put their assets to work on crypto's most efficient platform, right? That is the same exact vocabulary that we have right here from Zoidia Custody, a leading custodian provider backed by financial institutions, telling you guys that they're doing the same thing for their clients. New opportunities for their clients to put their assets to work. The devil is literally in the details, word for word. They tell you guys this stuff straight to your face. And the reason, again, why I'm showing you all this information is because here in the CYPRX Wealth 28 Club, we dive deep into detail into platforms, especially like these DEXs that were mentioned in this very fundamental piece, like Turbos, right? Turbos right here is a very user-friendly DEX. The UI on this DEX is actually relatively simple to understand, and they have a whole bunch of liquidity provision opportunities here straight on their DEX, okay? Not telling you guys to go out there and deploy your hard-earned capital, but if you don't understand how this platform works and how you can capitalize on earning and generating yield with this platform, you should at least take it upon yourself to learn how to do so, right? I'm not telling you guys to go out there and use this platform, nor am I backing this platform, but you should at least at a minimum go and educate yourself on how to do this. So that way, when you're comfortable, when regulations are clear, whatever it is that you're waiting for in order to do this with your digital assets, you have the knowledge in order to do so. Okay, this is all happening right before your very eyes. And I cannot stress enough, you got fundamental pieces right here from large players in the space. The CEO at the European Blockchain Convention says, from skeptic to player, Citadel Securities is reportedly expanding into crypto trading and liquidity services. Do you guys remember that individual representative on stage that I played for you all from a large financial institution that went on to say that smart money will not leave the opportunity to lend, to borrow, to provide liquidity on the table?
It's all paper.
Yeah.
There's really no digitization, blockchain or otherwise. And so I think it's only a matter of time until you can perform those other functions, lend, borrow, provide liquidity to facilitate trading, these types of things, which also enhance your returns.
Yeah.
Right. So by making it composable, now you can actually boost your return on top in a fundamental way.
Yeah.
And so I don't think, smart money is going to leave that on the table once they understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
They make it very clear for you guys as to what's happening. Moving on to another Soy ecosystem development that just recently dropped in March 2025. We have this posted by the Soy Foundation on LinkedIn. It is a Merkle Science partnership with Soy to elevate blockchain security. Now, for those individuals who do not know what Merkle Science is, before we dive deep into this fundamental, Merkle Science was founded in 2018 and is the next generation predictive cryptocurrency risk intelligence platform that helps crypto companies, financial institutions, and government entities detect, investigate, and prevent illegal activities involving cryptocurrencies, right? And they just partnered with Soy. So let's go on to read this. It says, Merkle Science is excited to announce a strategic partnership with Soy, the only blockchain built for mass adoption. That's the second fundamental piece that is mentioned, that to enhance security and compliance across the Soy network. This collaboration will integrate Merkle Science cutting-edge blockchain forensics and compliance tools with Soy's fast, scalable, and rapidly ascending layer 1 blockchain, ensuring a more secure and transparent ecosystem for users. As part of this partnership, Merkle Science will leverage its industry-leading solutions, Compass and Tracker, to provide real-time transaction monitoring, proactive risk assessment, and investigative support on soy. These tools will enhance due diligence for DeFi, that's literally the first thing that it says it's going to do, NFT applications, and other on-chain activities by reducing manual processes, improving fraud detection, and streamlining compliance efforts. The last piece of this that I really like is it goes on to say this partnership underscores the shared vision of Merkle Science and Soy to advance blockchain security and regulatory readiness, right? And it mentions right here that they're doing this. It says these tools will enhance due diligence for DeFi. So this just goes to show that DeFi is maturing at a very rapid pace. It is falling in line with regulations, and there are developments ongoing right now that are happening where we as retail investors have the same access or opportunities that institutions have access to, right? That puts us on a level playing field with our digital assets. So again, do not fade these developments. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and deploy into the DeFi ecosystem, but at least at a minimum, go and start educating yourselves on DeFi yield bearing opportunities. If you guys ever want to take it upon yourselves to further your education about DeFi, you want to see how we are deploying our digital assets in the DeFi ecosystem to generate yield, then head over to CYPRXtrading.com, tap into our Wealth 28 Club. We'd love to have you on the team. And if not, then I encourage you guys to continue to read these fundamental developments that are breaking left and right, watch panel discussions, read bank documents, tap into LinkedIn, and look at these financial institutions that are releasing this information right before your eyes, keeping up with the ongoing developments in this space. As always, many blessings to you guys. None of this is financial advice, and I'm not telling you guys to go out there and deploy in the DeFi ecosystem. With all of that in mind, I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.